Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about the One Piece card game. Today I am beginning my coverage of OP03, Pillars of Strength. Set 3 of the One Piece card game is looking to do a lot to the format. There's a lot to talk about, so I wanted to get started early. Over the next few weeks, months even, you're going to be seeing a huge amount of Set 3 content on the channel. So of course, if you're interested in that, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell and all that sort of stuff. Like the videos if you're enjoying them. Also, as sort of an announcement, I am going to be traveling for a while over the summer, so a lot of the content you're going to be seeing has been and will be, at the time of this recording, produced now in the next week or so, and you might be seeing it about 2 months from now. So as you can imagine, this is a slightly busy period for me. So if I make a mistake or two, or sort of slip in my words in a month, that's why, because I probably recorded it about 3 hours after you saw this one. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the first video, which is going to be my set review for set 3. I'm just going to start off with Red. So there's a lot to talk about with Red, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about I'll talk about Ace first, and then I'm just going to talk about the 3 most important cards that Red gets in this set. There's a lot of very, very powerful cards in Red, but these are the 3 most important ones. Okay, so let's start off with Ace. So Ace is the new monocolor leader for Red. In fact, it's the only Red leader in the set. And it says when this leader is being attacked or is attacking, or attacks. So you have to do this before anything else, before your opponent declares counters or anything. You must use this effect. You may trash any number of event or stage cards from your hand. For each card you trashed, plus 1k for the leader during this battle. So another thing to bear in mind is the timings of when you're doing these things. Usually, in a casual setting, it won't matter, but in a tournament, you probably will get rule sharked on this. So you must do leader effect first. You must discard any of the events that you're planning on using for just that 1k counter, and then you do your normal counter timing. So that's just something to keep in mind. In a tournament setting, it may come up, and an arsehole opponent may shark you on it, even though it literally doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't affect game state, but like, if it gets you the win, it gets you the win. So like, I can't, you know, I get it in like a top table or something, even though like a judge should probably tell you to piss off for that. But anyway, this is a really powerful leader effect. The sort of a big reason why Ace is so good is because it also gets some very targeted support cards that can only be used with the leader, and those cards are very, very good. But just being able to convert your events, which are typically dead in hand, into at least 1k counter is really, really good. This just lets you flood your deck with more event cards. They let you actually advance your game state a little bit. They let you, they're just better. They're just better. So yeah, overall, really, really powerful leader. Absolutely sees play in the meta. Okay, let's talk about the 3 most important cards. The first is Izo. This card is cracked. This is a top 5 searcher for Whitebeard Pirates. This card is the reason that Moby Dick got banned, because it was far too consistent. And it's still arguably too powerful because it's replacing cards in hand and it's finding you all your busted Whitebeard Pirates, right? We're talking about the Marcos, we're talking about the both of them, and we're talking about, you know, your 9-drop Newgate, we're talking about like Atmos, we're talking about Kingju, we're talking about like Jozu. Is that his name? Yeah, Jozu. Like, all of them, right? Like, Izo, it just puts in so much work for the deck. It is unreal. And as a result, this is going to be a staple 4 of. And Izo is the reason why basically every red deck pivots hard away from Straw Hats and hard into Whitebeards. Because it's a combination of Izo and the 2 other cards we'll talk about. So next is Buggy. This is another top 5 searcher, but this is a top 5 searcher for events. And obviously this really matters in the context of something like Ace, because those events are directly plussing you. But it also matters because it's just keeping you cards in hand, right? And there's a lot of very powerful 1-drop events in Red, in Radical Beam and in Guard Point. These are 3k and 4k, so they are just highly efficient, and at this point in the game, no other color has anything like it. It takes all OP04 to get another Radical Beam style event for black, and the black one is worse. So yeah, very, very, very powerful card here. But the biggest reason it's so powerful is its combination with the final one of the sort of trio of terror from the set, and that is 5-cost Marco. This card's broken. On play, you get a Vista effect, and then on KO, you just trash an event and you keep them around, which functionally means that your opponent is always just going to be being inefficient, right? Like, if they swing 7k into this, you can drop a 2k counter and you don't need to lose the event. If they swing 8k into this, then you can just drop a Whitebeard Pirates and it's essentially acted like 3k counter. It's really, really frustrating to deal with Marco. The fact that you have cards like Buggy to just keep your events like going into your hand, like keep them constantly flooding in, just makes like this card insanely strong. This card is disgustingly difficult to remove. You're happy to drop like 3, 4, 5 cards just protecting it because your opponent wasted their whole turn trying to deal with Marco. It's still around, it's still giving you value, and you can just absolutely annihilate them on the crackback. This card is, without a doubt, like, the reason red is so good. Like, a combination of this Marco, the last set's Marco, Izo, Buggy, the old Whitebeard Pirates. These are the central cards you're going to be seeing in every single red deck because they are absolutely insane. So I've talked about those. These are the cards you absolutely need to know. You need to be paying attention to them. But that's not the only really powerful cards. There's a bunch of other ones as well. So we'll start with Martial D-Teach. This is a 4/6, which says, when attacking, you may trash one red character with 4,000 power or more, draw a card, this character gains 1k power. So obviously the synergy with Zoro here is very, very obvious. Your Zoro leader effect is buffing your whole board by 1k for only 1 Don. So that means that all your 1-drops, which are now 4 or 5k, basically sort of free, slap a Don on them, they're 5k, swing into leader, and then you pop them with Martial D-Teach, and you draw a card, replacing the card that, you know, wasn't doing a huge amount, was probably going to get removed by your opponent anyway, forcing them to go face when they really don't want to do that, or to swing into a 6k, which they also probably don't want to do, and it's buffing itself by 1k, so this is a free 7k swing. Of course, with Zoro, that is going to be 8k, because you're buffing it by a further 1k, which means with 1 Don, it is a 9k, which is absolutely ridiculous. Martial Teach also combos quite well with the new card, Thatch. So this is a 1/2, which says, activate main once per turn, this character gains 2k power during this turn, and then you trash it at the end of the turn. So the combo here is you play Thatch, and you have it out, and then you have Martial D-Teach out, and then on the next attacking turn you put a Don on your Zoro leader, so that's 1 Don. You use Thatch effect, so Thatch is now 5k. You swing 5k with Thatch, you swing 6k with your leader, and then you swing with Teach with 1 Don on it, and that's 9k. And you draw a card. So you are getting back the card you're losing with Thatch. You're just drawing a card, which is obviously very, very good, potentially letting you extend your plays, and you've got a 9k swing, a 6k swing, and a 5k swing for the cost of 2 Don, and a pretty easy to meet combo. And even if you don't use Thatch, you just need to use any 1-drop, and maybe put 1 or 2 more Don onto it to get the 5k swing, right? If it's Buggy, it's 1 Don. If it's Izo, it's 2 Don. So it's still a very, very powerful combo. Slap an extra Don onto your leader for a 7k swing, and you are dealing really, really annoying numbers. Yeah, super good combo. Obviously, Thatch is the much less important part. It is Teach. This card is nutty. Really, really, really good. It sees a lot of play in Zoro. Then we got a couple of bad ones. I think we'll just do the bad cards first. We'll start with Lim. This card just not searchable, no counter, not doing anywhere near enough. These kind of blockers are really, really bad because Marco is running around, so they're just going to get popped. So yeah, pretty much unplayable. ADO is okay, but again, as a result of Marco existing, the blockers that this is kind to counter don't get played, so it doesn't really accomplish anything. And any blockers that are chump blockers that see play are 3k, so this does nothing. Next, we've got Curiel. This is a 3/4 that gains rush, but it cannot attack leader, so kind of what's the point? Like, the point of these cards with rush is that you are going to be able to attack the leader. Obviously, I appreciate that, you know, being able to clear stuff is good, but Zoro, the kind of decks you play this in, like, aren't really worried about that. It's an okay card. It's definitely not bad, but it's just, like, it doesn't really, like, see much play at all, for good reason. Whitebeard Pirates get another 4/6 here, a 3/5 vanilla as well. They also get a Nami. They starter deck Nami. It's once per turn, give a leader or character one of your rested Don cards. Obviously, getting efficiency in Don is really, really nice. This is a great turn 1 play in Whitebeard because then you get a 7k swing, and this lets you do a 7k swing every single turn, which is obviously really, really good. So I think in the context of, like, a leader Whitebeard, this is quite a powerful card. Outside of that, it's okay. Obviously, it's still very, very good, but the fact you're playing it for 2 is less good. You're getting 6k leader swings out of it instead of 7k. 7k is really, really good. So that's a sort of trade-off. It's still decent. I see plenty of players play it. I don't think it's a bad choice whatsoever. I don't think it's a obviously broken one. Fossa, this is a 2/2 blocker. There's no room for this card. I'm either playing Chopper or I'm playing, like, something better. Flamenco, this is a 2/3, which on attack gives up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2k during this turn. Obviously, back when you had Moby Dick, this was a much better card. Now that we don't have Moby Dick, this card's pretty mid. I'd rather just Otama something if I'm, like, worrying about that, and this is just prime, like, Marco bait. And then the last character card is Monkey D. Guard. This is also pretty good. This is a 3/5. When attacking, play a red character with a cost of 1 from your hand. So this synergizes really well with what Zoro is trying to do. So this is another one of those things. Now, the problem with this card is this is Navy traded, right? One of the reasons that Teach is so good is because it's Whitebeard Pirates traded. It's literally searchable. But this is not searchable at all, so you kind of just have to hard draw it. And the Zoro deck you are going to see in set 3 is so powerful because just everything is searchable. Izo searching all your Whitebeard Pirates. Buggy is searching all your events. Your events typically are Straw Hats as well, so you're playing Nami to find them as well, so you got 2 event searches essentially. Yeah, like all your 1-drop search, your 2-drop search, your 1-drops, because you're playing Kali Danan, and then your top end is like stuff like Earth, and then you got, like, obviously you're playing Roshoro, so Nami searches those as well. You're potentially playing Roshufi, you're playing Double Jambe because those are double searchable. There's like a lot of really, really obviously powerful cards. Like the reason Zoro is so oppressive in set 3 is because it is endlessly consistent. So that's the biggest thing to sort of bear in mind. So whilst this is a good card, it's way too inconsistent to actually see play, even though it's good. Okay, onto the events. We got 5 of them. But first, let's discuss Striker. I think this is an important card to have context for. So this is the Ace stage. It's a 2-cost. You tap it. If your lead is Ace, you look at the top 5, you reveal a red event, now it's your hand. This is good, but like, it costs 2, which is quite expensive, and you definitely play it in Ace, but like that's the only annoying thing. Like, it's not something you can spam every single turn, probably for the best. But yeah, obviously this is staple in Ace. It's literally never dead in hand because you can just use it as a 1k counter thanks to the lead effect, so very, very good. Okay, so Fury Doll, this is just a 4k thing, but then like the trigger is a Red Hawk, or Red Rock, or whatever it is, Red Hawk I think, from OP01, but you're just going to play that card because it's strictly better. Yes, this is Whitebeard Pirate straighted, but like, who cares? Fire Fist, this is an interesting one. So this is a 3-cost event. This is generic, but you have to pitch an event for the cost. So you need to discard 2 events. K up to one of your opponent's characters with 5k, and up to one of your opponent's characters with 4k power or less. So obviously the combo here is if you can drop the 7-drop Rush Ace in your Ace leader, you do minus 3k to 2 things, and suddenly this is popping an 8 and a 7, and that is dealing with any board. But bit of a niche combo, bit of an annoying one to get off. You need to be getting rid of other events as well. You kind of want to be playing most of your events, so this actually kind of fell off. This ended up not feeling as good as people were expecting, which is annoying because it turns out the one that they didn't give the ult art to, which is Flame Emperor, is the one that people like. It just sees way more play. Why is that? Well, okay, let's talk about Flame Emperor because this card is disgusting. There's a 7-cost event. If your lead is Ace, K up to one of your opponent's characters with 8k power or less, and you lead against double attack and 3k during this turn, and the trigger is just Jet Pistol. So obviously we know how powerful a Jet Pistol trigger is. Especially like with Jet Pistol kind of falling out of favor in the format in the end of OP02, people probably have forgotten to play around it. So you're going to be getting a lot of very free wins by just abusing this card. But obviously getting double attack, like getting 3k power, means with 1 Don you are now swinging 9k with double attack, which is really annoying to play around. And it leaves you 1 to 2 Don open to potentially double Otama. Double Otama kills, you're killing any card in the game with this, and a single Otama you're killing basically any card in the game. The only thing you're not killing is like what, Big Mom and Kaido. Like those are the only 12ks I believe in the game. So like everything else you're killing off of Otama plus Flame Emperor. So whatever your opponent's big swing turn play they just did, it's not doing anything. Yeah, this is an insanely powerful card. Very, very, very good. One of the biggest reasons to play Ace, I think, like if not the biggest reason. And then finally we've got Crossfire. This is a super good card that took people till later in the format to realize was really good. So this is main and counter. Give one of your opponent's characters minus 4k during the turn. So obviously you can't use this on your opponent's leader attack, which does suck, but you can use this on their character attacks. And honestly, most of the time that's going to be fine. And the fact that you get the versatility to also do it on your turn, which means you can Crossfire and then drop down a Marco, meaning you're popping any 7k and you're establishing the body, is super, super good. Overall, I've got to say, like, this is a super powerful card. So, there we go. That is my review of all of the red cards. I hope I've outlined which are the most important ones and why. If you're interested in seeing a deck profile, the next video that you will be seeing, I've written out a whole schedule and everything because I'm gone for so long, is an Ace deck profile. And at the same time that that comes out, I will be releasing my next Patreon guide. At least that is my idea. So my next Patreon guide will also be on Ace. So if you're interested in a competitive guide on how to play like a deck in the format, I think my Patreon guides are really, really good. You can check out my OP01 Kid guide. It's already on the channel. Very soon after that Ace guide comes out, I'm going to be publishing all my OP02 guides onto YouTube as well because they sort of run their course, and by and large, obviously, there's still a few last-minute events coming up, so I figured, might as well get those into public hands so people can use them and at least get a little bit of value out of them. But obviously, the maximum value you're going to get out of those is if you are subscribed to my Patreon, which you can find linked in the description. I think it's a very reasonable fee for what you're getting there, and you can get a month-plus head start on all of the events. So I hope you are looking forward to that. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one of these set reviews, which I'll be talking about blue. And, of course, subscribe for more One Piece content, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.